Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Tonight, I want to talk to you about changes. And yeah, similar to the Tupac banger, which I just recently heard was a remake of some other old song, which doesn't change the fact that I still think Changes by Tupac is one of the top five best album or songs of all time in the rap genre. But regardless, listen, to all my friends out there, and I actually do, I have a few friends, you feel me? This is a real thing. But change is something that happens and it's inevitable. And as much as I am a laid back, good old boy as it concerns a good routine, hey, if it were up to me, I'd have the same routine for the next 80 years. But it's not up to me. And that's kind of what change is all about. Your life is your own, and our experiences we gather and garnish from all of the circumstances that come before us. I just feel like something interesting happens with people and civilizations and the ability to make ourselves better, and I think all of that implies change. And I think that we as human beings have to consciously remind ourselves that even though we may be highly domesticated and we like what we like and it's real comfortable to nest, absolutely. I mean, who doesn't like the concept of just chilling? You feel me? And I mean, hopefully, if there's anything that I have to say or do about it, a lot of us, as we get into the near most close century, the 22nd century, I feel like a lot of our lives are going to change for the better. I really do. And in order for that to happen, we all have to be ready for it to happen. On this program, I've talked about changes and I've talked about the need for systematic changes to happen rapidly, which is counterintuitive to us human beings and how we perceive our outside world to be, and as that specifically correlates to our safety, our longevity, and our overall quality of life in the happiness category. I do know that being middle aged is one weird experience. There are so many changes, and it's so easier to buckle down and handle these changes when you're already past them or you have not yet gone through them. So, like, in your 20s, I mean, how much of a lost decade is that for most modern day Americans? Seriously, you're still trying to figure out who you are. You're still mad at yourself for going to college and not really getting a real job after because now you still owe the federal government loan service providers money that you probably aren't ever going to pay back, but yet that's the way it's supposed to be. We're not ever supposed to pay back our student loans, and we were never meant to pay them back. This is how the game works. And I'm not okay with that. And I don't think other people are okay with it too. So, what does that mean? It means that things must change. It means that change comes, and I said that it is inevitable, and it is. So things are going to change for the worse, or things will change for the better. I'm far more interested in the latter because I know what happens when things aren't working out and change isn't going in the right direction. You get a treasonous guy on the presidential ballot, as well as a woman who's spent her entire career locking people up. And I'm dead fast on this. Listen, the thing is these people, neither one of them are qualified to be our president. And I am not going to be a person that is like, okay, well, let's just settle on Harris because she said she'd be down to legalize marijuana. Yeah, right. Said the prosecutor who wanted to get elected president and 2 years later changes face and says wants to do nothing about it. Yeah, I'm not okay with that. I would rather, can't you take me out to dinner before you? Well, I'm not. I didn't say it. What do you think I'm thinking about? I didn't say it. I'm just saying that though. If you want to be nice to somebody and you want them to do something for you, at least take me to dinner first. You feel me? I'm just saying. Kamala Harris, I'm here to openly court. I mean, where do you want to go eat? I'm all for hearing what you aren't going to do. Not now, not in the future, or definitely not ever. So, yeah, I mean, elect you or the guy that's proud of committing treason against our wonderful and lovely country. I don't know, you know what I mean? And instead of trying to make the insane decision on which insane person to elect, I'll just be just chilling. You feel me? And that sucks. It sucks because that's exactly what they want. They don't want young people voting. They don't want young people to care that the primary election campaign issue is inflation. I mean, we've talked about this too. That's also a joke. All right. So no one's making Target. The Constitution isn't making Kroger price gouge their customers. All right. That's not a thing. So I wish that we would stop discussing it as if it were a thing. Because we just look stupid. And that's the whole point. You don't have to talk to yourself in front of your camera on your phone in your room for 40 minutes a night to look stupid. I mean, you know what I mean? You can do other things to make you look stupid. And I fear that if we don't change soon, things are going to get a lot worse. A lot worse than we could ever all possibly imagine. And I'm not into fear mongering, all right? I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. It's insulting to intelligence. No one should ever tell you that you have to do something, otherwise your safety is compromised. That's called being a bully. That's called being a Richard. That's called being evil. That is not the standard that normal people conduct themselves within. So my advice to everybody out there is if you're going through a current drastic change, it could be employment, it could be a relationship, it could be the loss of an asset or anything at all. Understand that it's okay. And change is better than stagnation. And I'd much rather live in a world that is unpredictable than silly, mundane, and predictable. Because silly, mundane, and predictable leads to control. And not control from the self, but control from outside people who really do not care about you. They don't. And like, I don't understand why we continue to care about people that don't care about us. It makes zero sense. It makes just about as much sense as the 90-year-old governor in Alabama, making these weird, cringe statements publicly. I mean, how many of you governors out there are just so far out of reach from reality that, like, you're running on the vice presidential ticket with a former prosecutor? The things people do, And so I'll never really understand it. I think I'll just spend most of my life talking about how I'm very interested in how people get to these decisions. I'm real interested. I'm real interested in, like, learning and understanding why Fox News exists. Why CNN panders to blue collar workers and yet does everything in their power to not advocate for such things as nationalized health care or criminal or union protection from like for labor workers and stuff. It's because they don't care, and unless people are forced to care, they will not care. So I'm just saying that if we want people to care about us, like in more than just the way that's like, put up your boots, strap them down, work for $12 an hour in the 21st century and say thank you. How about not? How about, like, if you're going to pay me $12 an hour, you go out of business and, like, I'll go work at Chick-fil-A, who pays their young teenage workers close to a living wage. But the people down the street that work at your local grocery store are still working on wages that they got hired on at from 1999. Go figure. You feel me? It's that cringe sense of irony. And all I'm saying is that you should not be thanking people for doing you a disservice, because that is a disservice. People paying other human beings such trivial amounts of money so that they can be helped in their efforts to exploit other people, and let's call that hustle culture. Let's make that popular, guys. Like, how about not? How about let's not all be stupid finance bros and actually think about what is important and the kinds of changes that are needed in order to get there. So it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be the most comfortable kind of transition, but it's worth it. And I'd say that it's way worth fighting more for equality and for people that don't have voices than it is to continue to pander to boomer mass media organizations who have never been interested in our situation as it concerns our experience in life. Okay? That's it. So, like, no feelings hurt, no pride lost. Let's just change. Let's be better. Change happens, and so we should embrace that. Let's embrace the idea of change, of actual change, not the kind of change that was posted on, red, white, and blue posters in 2008 when Barack Obama got elected, because we all know how that went. Really, really far south. The man did little to nothing for the actual working people in this country. Trump did nothing. Biden did nothing. And I can assure you with 100% accuracy that neither Kamala Harris or Donald Trump are going to do anything to make your life better. This is a fact. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess it is what it is. I'm stuck in this timeline too. Trust me, I know. I've been trying to find a way out since I got here, but there's just apparently no way out. They call it a prison planet, now I know why. Anyways, I hope that you guys have a really good night. And honestly, just we talked about boundaries and some other things the other night, but I gotta be clear, and I have to be on the record. What's going on, just in general, isn't all right, and there's no justification for it. And anything that comes out of people's mouth to justify the way the world is going makes them look really silly, because what we need to be talking about are changes to the healthcare system, are changes for universal basic income. These are the things on raising people's pay. If nobody wants to talk about giving out UBI, then somebody needs to be talked about as it concerns paying people more money for the work that they do. We live in the richest country in the world, and yet, there's people out on the streets that are poor, destitute, broke, homeless, have no hope, no opportunity, while the guy that's the local business owner down the street scoffs at them and tells them that if they work harder, they'll improve their situations. Seriously? Really? How about you improve your situation and you close up your business because you're worthless and you pay your employees absolutely nothing and you do the service for the community, you make us look bad. So, go back to wherever you came from. Wherever. You feel me? I don't care. This isn't a racial thing. If you think you can come to America to make things worse than they already are, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in hearing it. I'm not interested, because you can make your own situation worse wherever it is that you're at in life. You don't have to be an American to do this. I understand that it's kind of an American thing to do, to kind of save face, throw your life down the toilet, and squander every opportunity that's ever been placed before you. But do you really want to be a part of this club? You want to join us? Oh, that's great. Yeah, it's okay. The people who are unwilling to change and come from a point of personal privilege that we can actually make that change. But yet, no, it's all good. No worries. We'll elect another 90-year-old guy who committed treason at the highest level of all security to lead us. It's just not smart, people. And honestly, boomers, you outdo yourselves every single time. Every single time I think that things might be okay, I'm reminded that they are not. They're not. Not unless anybody and everybody under the age of 40 really wants to make a change in their life by not voting for either one of these straight up arguable criminals. You know what I mean? Like kind of clean house kind of a thing. Whoever's on the third party, you're president. Just because you're not a Democrat or Republican, you deserve the honor of being president. Because if I'm trying to take an L and my logic is trying to go in any kind of skewed way, I'd rather go that way. Because at least that way, I'm not sure what the results are going to be. The other way, we all know what they are going to be, and yet we are all still walking down that path. I don't get it. I don't get it. I hope that you guys have a really good night, and remind all of our old folks out there that, you know, that it'd be nice if the world was a little bit better place for everybody, not just you. You know, I know that's tough to hear and stuff, but there's other people, and we should care about them. By contrast, by caring about them, we become better people. Trust me. But I guess that's a little too much to ask from everyone. So let's just all continue to fight. Let's be divisive, and let's argue over inflation, because apparently that's what the boomers want us to talk about. Forget living wages, forget national health care, forget universal basic income. Let's talk about inflation. Man, they think they're slick, you know? But I hope that you guys have a really good night. Thanks for watching my channel, and I'll talk to everybody really soon. Make those changes. Put on some Tupac. Be a better person. Bye.